You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowing like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look at better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the 5th part of What If Naruto Enters Helluva Boss. Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of KFB Anime 87 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Hazbinhotel. It was the day after Naruto had slept with Charlie and Vaggy. Currently he was warm up to the princess and her lover after their night of passion. As he laid basking in the feeling of warmth with his 2 girls, he was suddenly awoken as his phone started to ring. Naruto groaned as he opened his eyes and looked at who was calling him. "The hell do you want, Blitz?" Naruto asked, groaning from being awoken by his boss this way. Yeah, whatever. Listen, we got a job that just came in. I'd let you keep your day off normally, but I need you for this one. Dude we're hunting is a serial doer. Real Jack the Ripper type. All we got is that he moves through back alleys frequently. Blitzo said nonchalantly as if he was doing something else while talking to him on the phone. Are you still stuck on that DMN Rubik's Cube? Naruto asked Blitz as he had been stuck on that thing for 3 weeks. Just get your peach here fully clothed, Blitzo told him before hanging up. God DMN it, Naruto sighed as he started to get out of Charlie and Vaggy's embrace to get dressed. Come back to bed my prince, Charlie told him as she woke from his movements. Yes Poppy, I want more of your love, Vaggy said as she woke up as well and tried to pull him back into the bed. Sorry ladies, but a job just came up, Naruto told them. I'm gonna do Blitz, Vaggy said with a frown. For once I don't think it's his fault. He said we're hunting down some back alley serial doer. Like Jack the Ripper styled. Naruto said. Then you better do him honey, Charlie said with a malicious grin. Hey, none of that, I like you when you're a sweetheart, Naruto said with a smile as he kissed Charlie on the forehead, making her smile. No, trust me, if this target's being compared to the Ripper he needs to die, Vaggy said in agreement with Charlie's request. Oh, I'm gonna do him. Don't worry about that babe, Naruto said as he also kissed Vaggy on the forehead before he left in a flash of light. He forgot to get dressed, Vaggy said, realizing he flashed out still NDE. Earth. Naruto, Blitzo, Millie and Loona had just gotten done the serial doer and were getting ready to leave. Nice one Blitz, Loona told her adopted father who was currently cleaning off a knife after getting off the serial doer. Thanks Looney. Here's your knife back Naruto. I think I got most of the brains off, Blitzo said, holding up one of Naruto's kunai knives. Before Naruto could take the knife his senses went off and he instinctively pushed Millie into an open portal, out of the way of something before something clicked around his neck. Ha! He took the hit for one of the females just like Intel said, a male voice said. What the F? Naruto shouted as suddenly he felt his chakra be blocked off. Don't even try it demon, that thing makes it so your powers are gone. Now be a good little demon and come with us for your experiments. Painful experiments, a female voice said. Mayberry close it now. Blitzo shouted as he pulled out his pistol to try and help Naruto fight off the man and woman wearing suits. Loona, who was on the other side of the portal with Millie, was about to charge at them but it closed. If you think I'm gonna dash, Naruto said before he was shot with what looked like several tranquilizers. Oh F you, he groaned as he fell. Naruto. Blitzo shouted in concern before firing at the 2 suit-wearing people with his flintlock pistol. Unfortunately he found himself hit by a net that suddenly sprung to life with electricity, shocking him to unconsciousness. IMP headquarters. Open the F portal. Loona and Millie roared at Mayberry. Who's yelling? Veronica groaned as she came into the office holding a liquor bottle. I thought you were off the stuff. Mayberry asked Verosika. Me and Cherry were having fun. Wait, where's Naruto? Verosika asked confused. He and Blitz just got captured by demon hunters. Millie yelled out in. Verosika's eyes widened at this, but before she could respond they heard a crash. When they looked at the entrance to IMP they saw Charlie and Vaggie in front of a broken takeout order of ramen they brought to Naruto for lunch. Come again, they asked together as their expressions turned murderous. "Oh, Mayberry said in slight panic. Open the portal now." Charlie roared at Mayberry as a rapier suddenly appeared in her hands from a burst of hellfire. Back in the alleyway. The portal opened and Millie, Loona, Verosika, Mayberry, Charlie, and Vaggie stepped through. Millie looked around and saw that there was nobody here. SHT. SHT, SHT. They're gone. She yelled angrily and sadly on the verge of tears. We'll find them, Loona told them. How the F did they capture him? Vaggie asked with a scowl as she held her spear. I saw something wrapped around Naruto's neck as he pushed me through a portal. Some kind of white collar, Millie said as she stood up. What? Nobody marks him but me. Verosika yelled. Really? Mayberry asked deadpan. We should probably get some backup on standby. Loona suggested. We have 5 of Naruto's bees mad as hell versus humans like they have a shot, Verosika said with a growl. We should at least call Octavia. Loona said knowing her best friend would want to know. Oh, you just want to massacre them, don't you? Verosika said as Loona sniffed for assent. And you don't? Loona asked with a raised eyebrow. Yeah, but Vaya would just do them all, leaving nothing for us to interrogate, Verosika said darkly. Good. Now let's go. Millie yelled impatiently. Okay, I have the scent, follow me fellow bees. Loona said as she led them down the alleyway. With Naruto. Ugh, my head. What happened? Naruto groaned as he woke up only to see a bright light shine in his face. About time you woke up, Blitzo said from behind Naruto where he was tied to a chair along with Naruto. Oh Satan DMN it. They tied us together. Naruto groaned. Hey, you could do worse than me. Oh okay, Blitzo said as Agent 1 approached shining a light in his face. What's your reason for coming to the human world? Who do you work for? Satan. Agent 2 asked Naruto as she shed a light in his face. No, but I'm sticking it to his daughter, Naruto said. Ha. Blitzo laughed. He has a daughter. 1 Write that down. Agent 2 ordered her partner. Okay, if we're gonna do this, can we get coffee? They always give coffee out in SHT movies like this. I want something iced B. Naruto? Blitzo asked. I'd like a foam cafe latte with half mocha sprinkles and half caramel syrup, half chocolate syrup. Make sure the foam doesn't spill over. The coffee on the bottom with the milk in the middle with a bit of chocolate chopped into the mix with a second layer of coffee on top and second layer of milk on top, followed soon after by the whipped cream, then the chopped mocha sprinkles, and make sure they are even and no more than 4 or 5 ounces of milk or else the beans won't have the right texture. And make sure my name is spelled right. I hate when people misspell it. Naruto stated. Enough. We ain't getting used guys coffee, Agent 1 yelled. Wow. I was getting major deech chills, Naruto. Respect. Blitzo said smiling at Naruto, who smirked back. If we have to, we are willing to resort to torture to get answers out of you nasty hell beasts. Agent 2 said. We talking physical or psychological? Physical is kinda pointless since we just say anything to stop the pain and you wouldn't really know if it was true. Naruto said. Or we might like it too much, and then you've got a whole new problem. Blitzo said. What do you mean? Agent 1 asked. Oh. Watch it, Blitzo, he's stupid, your favorite type, and he looks like a guy who takes in the bum. Naruto laughed. Hot DMN, that burn was nice. Daddy likey dummy, Blitzo laughed along with Naruto. You better stop laughing at us, Agent 2 yelled at them. Yeah, you are the ones at our mercy. Agent 1 yelled. Really? You sure about that? How do you know we haven't put you under some demonic mind trick and this is all just your imagination playing tricks on you? Naruto said, smirking as the two agents froze up for a few moments. Also, for all you know, we're just playing hostage cause we're both bored and could just break out of this at any time and go on a bloody rampage through this bee. Blitzo added. And trust me, my boy Naruto here has made killing an art form. Hey. Thanks, man. Naruto said with a smile. No problem. I still remember that yappy jogger kill. Good times. Blitz smirked. Now then, are you two done with this little FRPLY? Naruto asked with a smirk. Don't try and trick us, our intel told us that you're powerless with that collar on, so you can't do anything to stop us, Agent 1 said. And how do you know if that's true? Have you ever used this thing before now? Naruto asked with a smirk. Then break out smart, as Agent 2 said. Naruto growled at this as he had been trying to break free of his chains but he couldn't. Well, I would break out, but it seems like the lady would rather get KNKY with me. After all, I'm tied up and at her mercy, Naruto smirked. I'm not into some fox freak. She yelled. Ah, she's a carpet muncher, Blitzo said with a smirk. Naruto snorted at this as he laughed. That was one time at band camp. I mean, you better stop laughing at us, she yelled at the two. I'm really sorry, it's kinda hard to take you too seriously. I mean, you have had us for hours and you two morons haven't even confirmed what we are, Naruto said with a condescending smile. What are you? Agent 2 asked. I'm a Libra bee, Naruto smirked. Ha! Blitzo yelled. Guess we'll just have to torture the info out of you. Agent 1 growled. KNKY. Use the tight straps, Blitzo smirked at them. Ah. We are not getting KNKY with yous, Agent 1 yelled as he and Agent 2 jumped back. I don't know, I can smell the arousal from your partner there. She needs a new change of panties. I don't blame her though. I'm just far too CC for mortals to witness, Naruto smirked at them. Is he right? Agent 1 asked his partner before getting slapped. Don't encourage him. She growled. Hey, can we get a phone call, B? Blitzo asked as Agent 1 approached him. That depends. Who you gonna call? The agent asked with a smirk. Your fat mom. Taking her for a fat time. Blitzo yelled with a smile. Ha! Joke's on you, demon. His fat mom is dead. Agent 2 shouted as Agent 1 started to cry. Naruto and Blitzo laughed hard at this as they stomped their feet like lunatics. With the girls. The girls were behind a building that was labeled as dorks. First I will castrate any and all who stand in my way of my Prince L. Then I will flay alive any human women that so much as look at him. And finally I shall let him F me over their smoldering corpses and ashes. Charlie was muttering to herself, going full demon. Charlie, we need to sneak in at first and find Naruto, first Vaggie said. Also maybe I want to get F over the corpses. Ever think about that? Verosika asked. Really? Mayberry asked deadpan. Succubus, Verosika said simply. You're also half Uchiha, so step up, B. Millie yelled. Uchiha ain't a race secretary. It's just a dysfunctional family. Verosika said. So you're just gonna let these F-airs hold your man hostage? Loona asked. Verosika growled this, who the F said I was gonna do that? I'll show you what a Uchiha can do, she yelled as her eyes changed and she kicked down the side door of the building. Holy SHT. Loona muttered in shock at that. Suddenly alarms started to blare as several agents ran at Verosika with swords. Playtime's over. She growled before unleashing a giant fireball from her mouth, incinerating them. Cower in awe. Drown in despair. This is my power. The power of an Uchiha. True demonic power. She shouted in fury. Who knew the SLT had this in her, Vaggie said as she stabbed an agent through the head. Starting to see Naruto's weariness around Uchihas now, Millie muttered. He had told her of an Uchiha he faced that said similar things. And consequently could summon F-meteors from the sky. Burn you F-airs burn. Verosika shouted, still incinerating agents coming at her. If it get results, who cares? Charlie yelled as she stabbed an agent with her rapier through the neck. With Naruto. Stop insulting my Mota. She's dead. Agent 1 yelled at Blitzo, who was smiling. Hey, we'll stop insulting your Mota when we get a CCB to F here. Naruto jeered, and since that ain't happening we'll just keep mocking her fat dead peach, Naruto smirked. Okay, you two want to run your mouths. Fine, we can let you wait in here while we deal with some intruders we have, Agent 2 said as she dragged Agent 1 out. Ah, but I'll miss looking at your tips. It's the only part one can enjoy looking at, Naruto whined fakely. They're fake, Blitzo said with a smirk. Oh, never mind then, Naruto said as even he had standards. Hey F you. My fake tips are amazing. Agent 2 growled. Well, you were at best a 7 out of 10. Now that I know your tips are fake though, you're about a 5-inch, Naruto smirked. Agent 2 yelled in frustration before her and Agent 1 left the room slamming the door. If your peach is patting you're down to a 3. Naruto yelled before the door closed. Oh Satan, you're killing me. Blitzo laughed. Thanks. I learned from one of the best, Naruto smirked at Blitzo. Blitzo smiled at this, glad Naruto had an appreciation for his ability to talk trash. So you have a plan? Naruto asked. Well, they mentioned that they had intruders, so I'm gonna assume some of your F squad is on the way, Blitzo said. I figured I meant to get out of these chairs before they get here. We don't want to look like punk bees to them, Naruto said. Before Blitzo could answer, the room started to fill with green gas. Oh, good poison gas. You know that SHT doesn't work on us, right? Blitzo yelled in general. They want answers, Blitz, so I'm gonna assume it's a truth-telling serum, Naruto said. You're just gonna assume that's what it is? Blitzo asked. Well, ask me something then, Naruto said. Okay, does Millie ever peg you? Blitzo asked. Hell no, I am always in charge. She does like pegging Loona though, Naruto said. Ah. I don't want to hear this. Blitzo yelled as he tried not to imagine that. Normally I wouldn't spill that without reasoning or for payback, Naruto said, surprised at himself. Do you actually love Loona, or is she just a pet to you? Blitzo yelled in frustration. Of course I love her. I love her and all my girls. I'd revive myself and die for them as many times as needed if they asked me to, Naruto told him passionately. Blitzo said nothing at this but looked away from Naruto. Okay, that got too real. Time for my question. Do you actually like Stolas? Naruto asked. Yes. Yes, I do. Blitzo sighed out as this was a subject he really didn't want to divulge under truth gas effects. Heavy owes me money and a lap dance, Naruto said with a chuckle. I would appreciate you keeping that to yourself. Please, Blitzo asked beggingly. No problem, we're buds so I won't tell. Also, you're essentially my father-in-law and so is he, so I won't screw with you two's relationship for the sake of a joke or something, Naruto told him honestly. Thanks, Blitzo said in relief. Naruto nodded at this before he started to grow tired and soon he felt himself fall to the floor. How'd I get free? He asked as he looked around as the room went dark. Blitz? He asked as he kept spinning around the dark room. When he turned fully around, however, he was not met by darkness, but by sunlight. Sunlight over a familiar village. Konoha. That's impossible, he muttered, seeing it exactly as he remembered it before walking the streets. Demon. Monster. Beast. Should have died long ago. Mutters from voices sounded as no one walked the streets but him. What was in that gas? Naruto questioned as he walked. You were a terrible student. A familiar voice shouted. Irika-sensei? He questioned confused. Pathetic, another familiar voice sounded. Perv sage? Naruto questioned. You killed us, two voices sounded, a male and female. Mom? Dad? He asked as he was being assaulted by voice after voice. Couldn't save your friend, Sakura's voice sounded. You stole my power and let me die. A loud familiar voice shouted. One he hadn't heard in a while. Kekurama? No, that's not what happened, Naruto stuttered out. You are a coward, Naruto. Kurama shouted. I am not. Naruto shouted. You are scared to have kids. Verosika's voice shouted at him. I am not. Naruto yelled back. Liar. Charlie's voice sounded. Stop it. Naruto started to yell erratically. Admit the truth. Millie's voice shouted. Admit. 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 Many voices chanted at him. Naruto held his hands to his ears as the voices swarmed around him like a tornado of his worst insecurities. Failure. Niji's voice sounded. Monster. Gaara's voice sounded. Weakling. Kakashi's voice shouted. Dobe. Sasuke's voice shouted. Outside of Naruto's subconscious. Naruto was spasming like crazy in the chair. Breathing heavily. As if suffering from a panic attack. Blitzo would have spoken to him to try and calm him down. If Blitzo wasn't also in a similar state to Naruto. With the girls. Okay, you dirty Moda F, where is Naruto? Luna barked at a agent she had pinned to the wall. A fish cake? The hell should I know? The agent yelled. Wrong answer. Millie yelled as she chopped off his head. We're starting to run out of people to ask, Mayberry said, gesturing to the piles of headless corpses in the room. Hey, where's everybody? An agent yelled, walking into the room holding a cup of coffee before seeing all the corpses of his coworkers. Oh goody. Another person to ask for directions, Charlie growled at the man. What are you? Some kind of demon clown? He asked. Sure, want to hear a joke? She asked. Sure. He said, confused. Your PP, she said before stabbing him with her rapier in the PP. Ahag. He screamed bloody murder. No, that was a bad joke. Jokes are supposed to be funny, but your PP is just pathetic. Let me guess, 2 inches. Now down to 1. She asked maliciously before seeing the guy start to pass out from the pain. Oh, you don't get to sleep yet. Tell me where my boyfriend is, you kidnapped, and I'll let you rest, Charlie told him. You mean the furry freak? Oh God, the pain, the agent yelled as Vaggie stabbed him in the nuts with her spear. She got I got one of your tiny TSTCLS. Wanna test us to see how much pain we can put you through down here? Vaggie growled. No. He whimpered. Then talk you to maldita pura koja. Vaggie yelled in fury. And if you don't say it in 5 seconds, I'll start shaving skin off your remaining TSTCL layer by layer with my sword here, Charlie told him. He's a level down in interrogation. The man whimpered out. Good punk as you get to live, Vaggie said. Really? The man asked, shocked. No, but why speak ill of the dead, Vaggie said as she nodded at Charlie. Wait, you said you'd let me live. He said to Charlie in terror. I said I'd let you rest. She said she'd let you live. Which she is. For about 2 seconds more, Charlie said before she stabbed the man's throat. Nice kill, Luna complimented the princess. Compare notes later, we have to save our man. Vaggie yelled. And Blitz, Millie said. Don't remind me, Verosika muttered. You two need to work out whatever the hell happened between you, Mayberry told the pop star as she ran after the others. What's to work out? I was loyal and treated him great and he acted like an ass and ditched me, Verosika glared. Yes, but you're also involved with his employee and daughter. Think you may need to bury the hatchet since he's obviously gonna be around you for a time, Millie pointed out. Let's save this therapy CRP for later. Anyone good at guessing numbered codes? Mayberry asked pointing at an electronic lock. Try 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, Verosika said pointing out how worn out the button for said number was. Oh for F's sake, Loona said as she pressed the button and rolled her eyes. These people captured an overlord and a demonic hitman? Vaggie asked deadpan. I'm gonna assume their intel is what gave them an edge, Mayberry said as they entered the room. Intel? Who could possibly have intel on Naruto? Charlie asked. Let's see, who did we PSS off that would want Naruto gone? Loona said. Millie paused at this and thought before she scowled. Oh, I'm gonna kill those cherubs, she growled, now realizing where that collar came from. Heaven gave them intel? Vaggie asked, shocked. Well, more likely some cherubs did and not the higher-ups, Charlie said as she had heard from her dad that heaven had a hierarchy like hell with God as top dog. And he wouldn't waste his time on this. I smell Naruto. He's near. Verosika yelled as she ran ahead. You smell him? Mayberry asked, confused. That's my bit. Loona yelled as she chased Verosika. With Naruto. Naruto and Blitzo groaned as they came out of their trips. Oh Satan, I feel like Lee is yelling in my head again, Naruto groaned. It's like Loona howling at the moon again at 4 a.m. after I was drunk, Blitzo groaned. She does that? Naruto asked with a smirk, finding this cute. She hasn't done that with Yo, never mind, Blitzo said, cutting himself off knowing this was a setup. Naruto chuckled at this as they both sat in silence. Until Blitzo broke it after a few moments. Hey Naruto, sorry I've been such a pain in the ass to you for so long. You're a great employee. Blitzo said, looking down. Wow, I never thought I'd hear a compliment from you. Naruto said. The main reason I've been so ticked off at you as well. Loona, she's my daughter, maybe not BLD related, but she's still my loony and I just don't want to see her hurt. Blitzo said. Hey, there's no need to worry about that. I love Loona as much as I love any other woman with me, and I'll die again before I ever let anything happen to her. Naruto told him. Yeah, I know, I'm glad she's found someone like you to be in her life. Blitzo said honestly. And as much of a pain as you are at times. I'm glad you raised her and are in our lives, Naruto told him with a small smile. Thanks, future son-in-law, Blitzo said. Does this mean I can call you dad? Naruto asked. Don't push it, he said before Naruto chuckled. Suddenly the ceiling above them opened and Loona, Millie, and Mayberry dropped down into the room. There are my girls. Naruto said with a smile as they approached them. You guys made your way here on your own? Blitzo asked as Mayberry used a chainsaw to cut them loose. Not exactly, Millie said with a smile as she handed Blitzo and Naruto some guns. Suddenly the window behind them broke. Verosika threw Agent 2 through it. You kidnapped my man, tied him to my ex, and made me leak here to slaughter each and every one of you in heels. You will know despair and the true power of the Uchiha. Verosika said as her eyes were glowing red Sharingans. Agent 1 went to pull out a gun, but Charlie and Vaggie roared at him, making him back off. Ah, look, he thinks he's threatening us with a little gun, Charlie said mockingly. No, but this is threatening, Agent 2 groaned as she pulled out a remote and pushed it, making an alarm go off. Ooh, an alarm. Really? Charlie mocked. Suddenly a whole army of agents came into the room, all carrying weapons from the Edo PRD of Japan. Oh, you guys may have my power sealed off, but you done F up big time, Naruto smirked as he craked his neck. Okay, I've had far too many emotions today. Guys, let's F these F-airs up. Blitzo yelled, wanting these humans dead. An agent with a sickle and chain threw it at Blitzo, but Loona caught it in her mouth and growled. "Hands off my dad Moda F," she barked as she pulled on the chain and spun the agent into several others before she charged at them and slashed at them with her claws and the sickle, dismembering them into bloody chunks. Millie was slashing up agents with a giant medieval battle axe larger than her. She chopped off one agent's leg and then sliced him in half as he tried to hobble away. Mayberry was revving her chainsaw and slashing through the agents as quick as they attacked, easily cutting them into pieces. Vaggie was spinning her spear and stabbing agents through the neck left and right before running 3 through with her spear in a tackling stab, impaling them into a wall. Another agent threw shuriken at her as she did this, but found his shuriken snatched in mid-air by Charlie's rapier in one stab, the shuriken's holes wrapping around the blade. "Die, you worm!" she roared as she swung her blade, launching the shurikens back at the agent in his face. Verosika was easily dodging attacks thanks to her Sharingan and breathing fire at the agents, lighting them on fire. Naruto stood next to her and broke an agent's arm that went to stab her with a katana before taking it for his own and stabbing him with it. Naruto looked back at Blitzo, who looked over at him and smiled at each other before getting ready to kick as Blitzo came in, shooting off bullets, hitting every agent that came his way, with Naruto running forward picking up a dead agent's katana, slicing off their limbs one by one. "Sniper on your right!" Blitzo shouted, shooting off a round at an open vent, nailing an agent. "Thanks, Virgo," Naruto said. "Ah, F you whiskers." Blitzo chuckled, firing off his shots. Naruto ran across the walls, dodging the bullets as they came while also deflecting them with his sword. He jumped off the way, landing in a circle of agents. One tossed a chain, wrapping it over his arm, but Naruto was quicker, pulling him in and kicking him in the nuts, while his head was soon blown off, allowing Naruto to spin his corpse around with the chain and knocking the agents back on their peaches. "You're all such boring dance partners," Verosika boredly told an agent that she was currently choking before snapping his neck and tossing his body into 2 other agents. "Okay, she's definitely an Uchiha," Naruto muttered. "DMN straight. These punk asses better recognize." Verosika yelled as she kicked one in the face with her heels, stabbing through the agent's skull in a shower of BLD and gore. "Yo Verosika, catch!" Blitzo yelled as he threw a weapon out of the pack Loona brought to her. She caught it, revealing a WHP. "This may be the nicest gift you ever got me," she smirked at her ex. "Don't look into it too much. Just ice these F-airs," Blitzo told her as he moved on to Millie. "Yo Mills, you need anything? A gun?" he asked the battle axe-wielding imp. Blitzo ran over to Loona and handed her a machine gun as he fired at some agents coming at her. "Nah, I'm good," she shouted as Blitz nodded and left to help Loona. He handed her a rifle to use. Loona opened fire on the agents, easily tearing through them. "Die Moda F," she yelled with an intense look. Blitzo smiled at this as he watched Loona. "What?" she asked, seeing his LPPL. "I'm just so DMN proud of you, loony. And you called me dad." Blitzo yelled before he kissed her on the cheek and ran off to kill more agents. "Bye, sweetie," he yelled as he went to help Charlie and Vaggie. "Yo, princess and former man-hater. Need a gun or anything?" "No, we're good, Blitz," Charlie yelled with a smile as she stabbed an agent in the stomach. "And I still hate all men besides me, Amour," Vaggie yelled as she threw her spear and impaled 5 agents into a wall. "Sure thing, whatever. Have fun, try not to F over their corpses," Blitz yelled. "No promises," Vaggie said with a grin as she ran and pulled out her spear from the impaled corpses. "Okay then. Now who wants quality time with daddy?" Blitzo yelled as he pulled out 2 guns and charged at some agents, laughing like a lunatic as he fired on them. Mayberry pulled out a grenade drum, her hammer space, and pulled an agent's lowers open before dropping the grenade and throwing him into 3 agents. It exploded and a corpse was sent flying and landing in front of Agent 1 and 2. Before being stabbed by a falling katana. "Why? Why are we only using weapons from Japan's Edo PRD?" Agent 1 yelled in terror as he watched more of his fellow agent get slaughtered. "Hey! The Edo PRD was badass and you know it. Agent 2 shouted at her partner. DMN it, you're right. He shouted in agreement. Badass but not effective versus guns, you dorks. Naruto said, picking up a machine gun and firing on some other agents as he ran at a cluster with his katana. Switching between slicing and shooting in a dance of immense BLD spray. Loona came charging, swiping the dead agent's sword, slicing apart every man that came their way. She stabbed a sword right into a man's TSTCLS, cutting him in half with a vertical slash, splashing his organs onto the floor. VOICEOVER twirled her new WHP, wrapping it around an agent's head, pulling off their skull before throwing the head into another agent, crushing their skull. Millie and Mayberry stood back to back, shooting off bullets at each man that came their way. Millie? Mayberry asked. Yeah. The shorter demoness asked. What do bees love? The demonic teacher asked, smirking, which Millie returned before reaching into her BR, revealing a large anti-tank rifle. She took aim at Severa of the remaining agents with a sharp-toothed grin. Bees love cannons. Millie shouted, firing off her round, erupting in a massive explosion, sending dozens of body parts flying around. Who? How's that for demon some? Blitzo yelled in an adrenaline rush. Before the lights went out suddenly and several metal doors trapped them all. Mayberry, the book. Millie yelled. In what light? The teacher yelled. You demons aren't going anywhere now, Agent 2 laughed. Alright, listen up, you fake Melonied bee. We just slaughtered every single little punk bee you threw at us, and you think you and the D-less mama's boy can take us down? Naruto roared, finally having enough of these damned agents. Those are fake. That's just sad, Verosika said, shaking her head in disappointment. Right? Bye. The way I never got an answer, but is your peach padded? Naruto mocked Agent 2. Suddenly the entire room began to shake up as the lights went out before the room turned crimson red and began to shake as darkness began to form up beneath the feet of the room. A chill ran down the agents' spines as they looked around for cause as two voices rung on in dark whispers. What are you doing to my foxy/impish plaything? Agent 1 backed up in fear, bumping into his partner who was frozen stiff. She suddenly felt her body begin to shake and twitch as the darkness started to enter her body. Agent 2. Agent 1 said, turning her over to see his partner had a demonic grin over her face and red eyes. What's the matter, demon hunter? Haven't seen a real demon before. Two sets of voices sounded from her mouth, speaking at once before cackling maniacally as the undead agents started drawing up a pentagram with their own BLD. The laughter stopped as Agent 2 suddenly started violently spewing feathers from her mouth as they formed into two giant feathered creatures. They then roared in fury at Agents 1 and 2 before shrinking down, revealing Stolas and Octavia in their full demonic glory. Stolas walked over calmly and disabled the alarm as he and Octavia ignored the two terrified agents and walked over to the group. Stolas and Octavia. How the F did you know we needed help? Blitzo asked, confused. I have my ways, darling. Are you alright? Stolas asked Blitzo, checking on him. I'm fine, Stolas, he muttered. And you, darling? Octavia asked Naruto. I'm good, Eve, Naruto said with an impressed smile as the display of power Octavia showed was kinda hot to him. Good, she said before her and Stolas immediately became furious. How the F did you let yourselves get captured by humans? Stolas and Octavia scolded the latter, pulling on Naruto's ear lightly. Are you little creatures not paying any attention? You know that if you get in trouble, I get in trouble, we don't want that. Stolas told them seriously. They caught us off guard, Your Highness. Mayberry said. Luckily for us, most don't believe the word of the demon-obsessed fanatics. They are seen as kooks. Charlie smirked. Kooks. Such a silly word. Stolas laughed. Now let us all return. He said as he opened up a portal. Yes, please, I'd like to get back to the right hellhole, thank you. Veroskia said. You are in so much trouble for getting captured. Octavia said as she dragged Naruto through the portal. Ow, ow, come on, that ear's sensitive. VERYYYY and Loona are nibblers. Naruto whined. Shut up. The girls scolded. Am I going to get any thanks for the rescue, Blitzy? Stolas asked, picking Blitzo up. I guess. Want me to F your brains out tonight? Blitzo asked with a knowing smile. Very much so. Stolas said with a smile. Okay, but you're keeping quiet or I'm using those bear traps. Blitzo said with a grin, gripping Stolas by the neck, sending a tingle down his spine. Oh, please do. Stolas before he and Blitzo started to make out walking through the portal. Ah! Gross old man love. The younger demons shouted. We've witnessed what you all do with Naruto. You have no right to judge. Blitzo shouted. For once he's not wrong, Verosika shrugged as the portal closed. We better get a reward for saving you, Alpha, Loona said to Naruto. Collar and leash or monetary reward? Naruto asked. I say we head home and see how well you F us with that collar suppressing your power, Octavia smirked. Naruto smirked back but paused as he realized something. Wait, when my girls talk like that I usually get turned on, he thought. Quick, I think I have a legitimate problem. Someone flash me. He yelled in a panic. Millie, Loona, Verosika, Mayberry, and Octavia instantly did so. Charlie was about to, but VERYYYY stopped her. That's only for his eyes, Charlie, VERYYYY said. No, it isn't, I've seen M. Verosika piped up, flashing Naruto still. Oh God, get this thing off me. Naruto yelled in terror as he clawed at his collar. Sweetie, what's wrong? Millie asked with a frown. This thing not only blocks my powers but makes me impotent. I can't get up, he shouted, clawing ferociously to get it off. The girls all froze at this and parleyed. Get it off him now. Verosika shouted as she went to try and claw it off herself. Blitzo was laughing at this and rolling on the floor. Dad, get it off him now. Octavia yelled at Stolas. Stolas approached the collar and took a look and frowned. Looks like it requires a holy key which is only made in heaven, he said. This is a declaration of war. Charlie roared as she went demonic. Fetch me my angel-killing panties, VERYYYY. She roared. I'm gonna kill them all. Loona barked as her hair went on end from her anger. I don't get my kids with Foxy now. I'll end them all. Verosika roared. This isn't life. Naruto yelled as he clawed at his collar but doing nothing. Technically you're dead. Blitzo snickered. F you, help me. Naruto yelled at Blitzo. Do I look like I have a holy key? Blitzo asked sarcastically. Heaven. In heaven the cherubs were all laughing. Ah, this is wonderful, and there's no way they'll get a key to remove it. Dearie, the cherub cackled. NW, all we need to do is wait for that Uchiha to make his move, another cherub said. How is he gonna lure him out to fight? A third cherub asked. I gave him the holy key to his collar, the second cherub asked. This got silence from the other cherubs. You what? They all yelled in a panic. What? It seemed like a good idea, the second cherub defended himself. Exile him. Dearie yelled as she and the others flew at the second cherub, causing him to flee. Back in hell. Kill me. Naruto was yelling. He hated this. No way. We could try and find a key. Millie said. I wouldn't let this get around. If people find out you're powerless now, you'll be hunted and killed. Stolas said with a frown. Which is bad news since I already know he's powerless, a voice sounded from the shadows, making everyone pause and search. No way, Naruto said as he instantly stood up. At the open window a raven demon stood with glowing red eyes. Long time no see, dope, Sasuke said with a glare at Naruto. Sasuke Uchiha. Should have known you were in hell too. What took you so long to get after me? Taking it from behind by Valentino? Naruto asked with a smirk. Been biding my time. Making plans. Recently I got a job offer from some big wigs in heaven. Asked me to take care of this big bad overlord, Sasuke said. Well, congratulations Sasuke, you went from Itachi's mind f little b brother to Orochimaru's b, to Tobi's b, to now Heaven's b, way to step it up. Naruto rolled his eyes. I would watch your mouth talking to the guy that has the key to you getting any dope. Sasuke yelled, holding up the key to entice him. Before anyone could react, Verasika grabbed him by the throat and grabbed the key. It then poofed away. I'm a shadow clone, you idiot. Now let me send my message or you won't be getting a chance to get the key. Sasuke glared with his Sharingan blazing at Verasika. Whatever. Speak your message, B, Verasika said, letting him down. Okay dope, we have unfinished business. Me and you one-on-one. In 3 days. You'll get the key before we fight. Sasuke said. 3 days no ACC. The girls all yelled. Nice to know your wares have their priorities, Sasuke said with a flat look. This coming from the guy who took it up the peach from Orochimaru. Naruto deadpanned. That was a rumor. Sasuke yelled in a rage. Then why ignore all the girls back home if you weren't playing for the other team? Naruto mocked Sasuke. I have standards, you stupid. Dope. Sasuke yelled. Yeah, against the fangirls I get, but considering everything you had going for you, you could have been drowning in PP, you moron. Naruto yelled at him. Sasuke scoffed at this. Whatever dope, just be ready in 3 days' time. I'll give you the key and crush you at your full power with all of hell watching. He told him before he dispelled in a poof of smoke. Ugh, that guy screamed, baby PP, Blitzo said. I'm related to him. Verasika asked in disgust, agreeing with Blitzo on this one. So what are we gonna do? Mayberry asked. Nothing I can do but wait and make plans, Naruto said, infuriated. Not that. I just got you to wreck me and now I'm cut off. Charlie yelled in fury. Yeah. I want that PPDM in it. Vaggy yelled. We'll just have to wait 3 days, unfortunately, Mayberry said unhappily. Everyone was silent at this for a few moments. Has it been 3 days yet? Loona asked. Everyone groaned at this, knowing it was gonna be a long 3 days. Hazbinhotel 2 days after attack on DHORKS. Angel Dust was walking downstairs for breakfast and saw Sakura, Ino, Enko, and Kurenai sitting at the big table they all used for meals. Sup Pinky, Blondie, Slimy, and BLD Eyes, Angel Dust greeted with a smirk. Sup where, Sakura said with a flat tone as she ate some toast. Oh ho. So the Oni can throw insults, Angel Dust said with a laugh. Want me to throw a punch instead? Sakura said as she glared, not in the mood for his BS today. Angel shuddered at this. No, I'm good. So where is Her Royal Highness and her F-toy? He asked, referring to Charlie and Vaggy. Vaggy's in the basement attacking training dummies with her spear and many other weapons. Charlie on the other hand, well, Kurenai was saying until she was cut off. Gah. I'm gonna lose my SHT. Charlie's voice bellowed from upstairs, making the hotel shake from her fury. Sheesh, what's got her Vag in a twist? Angel said. She hasn't gotten any in 2 days, Ino said. Oh. Fox Boy got bored and gave her the old heave-ho. Angel Dust asked. The F you say? Charlie bellowed as she came downstairs with a battle axe. My dear, calm down. The rabbit is trying to sleep and we don't need more destroyed walls like last time, Alastair said as he came downstairs. Get F you Red B. Charlie yelled as she threw her battle axe at the radio demon, who ducked as it embedded into the wall. Right where his head was. Well, goodness, look at the time. I have a thing to do, Alastair said as he walked away. Okay, what's got her acting like a Karen? Angel Dust asked with a raised eyebrow. The F you call me? I'll F kill you. Charlie roared with flames in her eyes at the porn star. Naruto can't perform because of some BS caller from heaven or some SHT. Enko said nonchalantly. Angel Dust paused at this before he smirked. You laughing at me? Charlie roared. Not for what you think, Princess, Angel said while struggling to not burst out laughing. Let's hear it then, cause if I have to come over there it's gonna be to get my surgeon's license. Charlie yelled as she pulled out a butcher's knife. I find it funny that you're only interested in SEC with your boyfriend and aren't trying to comfort him, Angel Dust said. Charlie paused at this and scowled before she stabbed the table and left. Vaggy. Get your peach in here. We have something to do, she bellowed. Finally. Let's kill that little bee raven. Vaggy yelled. Not that. We are Naruto's lovers and we need to support him even if he can't perform until after the fight, Charlie said with a determined look on her face. Fine, but I still want that punk's head mounted over the fireplace, Vaggy said. I already got the mount ready, Charlie said pointing above the fireplace where an empty mount labeled, Raven C. Doer, was set up. Okay, so what we gonna do to cheer Naruto up? Vaggy asked her girlfriend as she did like the idea of cheering Naruto up. We're gonna make him ramen, so follow me. Charlie said with a smile at the idea of making her boyfriend his favorite food. Really? Vaggy deadpanned. Hey, Naruto loves ramen, so if you are looking to cheer him up it's a good move, Ino said with a nod at Charlie. Exactly, Charlie grinned agreeing with the blonde succubus. Anyone have a recipe? Vaggy asked curiously. I have one, Anko said pulling a paper out from in between her melons. This better be a legit recipe, Charlie glared at the succubus. It is. I keep my CC recipes in my thong, Anko smirked. Well, get writing then, I have a boyfriend to cheer up. Charlie said with an excited smile. It's already written on there, Anko deadpanned. Thanks, Anko. You are promoted to friend. Charlie said with a smile as she snatched the recipient and ran off with Vaggy behind her. Just get the BRT his PP back up. I want to ride that schlong with Naichan here. Anko yelled after they started to leave. With Naruto at his apartment. Inside Naruto's apartment, Millie was in the kitchen making breakfast while Luna, Mayberry and Octavia were watching TV in the living room. Naruto Verosika. Breakfast is ready. Millie yelled only to get silence in response. This made the imp woman sigh in frustration. They then heard the doorbell go off. Will one of you answer that while I go get Naruto and Verosika? Millie asked as she walked towards Naruto's room. I'll get it, Mayberry said simply. She approached the door and answered it and saw it was Blitzo. Oh joy, she said with a flat tone. Nice to see you too, Matilda. I'm here to check on my loony since she's been ignoring my texts, Blitzo informed her as he pushed his way past Mayberry. Been busy, Luna growled as she looked up from her phone. With what? You haven't been getting D for 2 days, Blitzo questioned. Luna and Octavia both barked and screeched at the imp at this. Wrong subject, boss, Mayberry said with a glare as she pulled a hammer out of her purse. OSCK pages. Oh wait, you can't. Blitzo mocked. Okay, Naruto is gonna come out for breakfast soon and I don't want you making jokes about that or I swear to Satan I'm gonna throw you out this 20-story window. Octavia yelled as her eyes glowed red. Oh fine. Guess I'll save these jokes I wrote down for another day. Blitzo said with a sigh. Naruto then came out to the room in a bathrobe and a frown. Hey buddy, what's up? Oops, Blitzo said with a snicker. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to my room, Naruto said as he started to walk away. Blitz! Luna yelled with rage on her face. Oh come on, that was fun dash, Blitzo was saying before Octavia grabbed him and was going to throw him out the window. Wait, hang on. Naruto, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. Sorry, you are not a man. Blitzo bellowed before he started to laugh maniacally as Octavia tossed him out the window. Ha! Parachute B. Blitzo yelled, pulling a cord and seeing a frying pan come out of his backpack. Oh RPE my peach, he yelled as he fell into the street and was hit by his own frying pan in the head. Naruto, you sit down and eat with us now. Millie yelled as she dragged Verosika down the stairs. Millie Naruto was saying but was cut odd. I said sit down. Millie bellowed. Yes, dear. Naruto said quickly as he sat down at the table. "En need F Foxy's PP," Verosika muttered with a twitching eye and crazed look as she shuddered. Looking like a haggard lunatic compared to her usual confident self. "Geez woman, just sate your lust with a woman till he's ready so you can feed," Loona said. "And no. Won't let F Foxy suffer alone," Verosika said twitching. "Aw, you do care," Millie said with a chuckle as she placed a plate of food in front of her. "V, you don't have to do that. I'd rather you be healthy," Naruto said with a smile. "W will be fine. Focus on obliterating that pea-prick of a brother of mine," Verosika yelled. This got silence from everyone. "Huh, so that is who your mom is? I owe you a 20 Loona," Naruto said with a chuckle. "Give it to me when you're healthy." Along with something else, Loona smirked. "You're not surprised?" Verosika asked, confused and still out of it. "Nah, I figured you were Itachi's daughter with some random succubus," Naruto shrugged. "Nah, Ma became a succubus when she died. Something about how her husband was a DS that immediately got purged, claiming he was an Uchiha and stronger than any demon or angel. And then he died, so Mom got wrecked in an incubus GNGBNG and PRGNT with me," Verosika said. "Can she help you with your problem?" "I heard succubi have ways to help without involving SEC," Octavia asked as she drank some coffee. "Hold on a minute," Verosika said as she took out her phone after a moment of silence. "Thanks Eve," Naruto smiled at her for her suggestion to help Verosika. Octavia smiled back and nodded at this. "Glad to help," she said. "And Mom will be by later with some homemade succubus remedies," Verosika said as she hung up her phone. They then heard the doorbell go off. "Wow, your mom works fast," Naruto said with a chuckle as he got up to answer. "No way, that's Mom. She lives in the Lust Ring," Verosika said. Naruto answered the door and saw it was Charlie and Vaggie in new outfits. Charlie was in a red suit and she was wearing white-heeled shoes, while Vaggie was in a red dress shirt, had a black skirt and leggings, and she was also wearing black arm-length gloves. "Hey honey, we wanted to see how you were doing and, oh my Satan. Verosika, what happened to you?" Charlie yelled out in shock, seeing the succubus pop star so haggard. "She's in withdrawal from lack of SEC," Mayberry explained. "Has she tried any of the succubus home remedies?" Vaggie asked with a raised eyebrow as she was surprised Verosika didn't use those yet. "Just called my mom for them, so get off my back," Verosika yelled in frustration. "Hey, just trying to help you, Puta. No need to jump down my throat," Vaggie said. "Okay, let's just calm down. I want Naruto to enjoy the ramen me and Vaggie made him," Charlie said with a bright smile as she brought out a plastic container. "Ramen!" Naruto shouted, salivating and drooling all over the floor. "I just mopped that floor," Mayberry sighed in resignation. "Let me go heat this up for you, mi amor," Vaggie said as she took the container from Charlie. Charlie meanwhile went over to Millie. "How's he been doing?" she asked, genuinely concerned. "If he's not lifting weights, he's been sulking and watching TV," Millie answered back. "Did that Raven BSTRD give a time yet for tomorrow?" Charlie asked with a slight growl. 8 a.m. and he gave the location. "An arena in the Pride Ring," Millie responded. "Good, make sure his head is intact. I have a mount ready above the fireplace in the hotel," Charlie said fiercely. "You can have the head. I'm gonna make Raven stew when Naruto's done," Millie growled. "You think you can take him, Alpha?" Loona asked Naruto as he sat down at the table for his ramen. "If I fight him without chakra, no. He'd destroy me. Luckily his ego refuses to let me fight him without chakra. He wants to prove he's truly stronger than me. And he wants me at my best so he can crush me. Once this collar is off, he's toast," Naruto said. "You should be fine. I checked his rankings and that cabron isn't even ranked as an overlord," Vaggie said as she placed a hot bowl of ramen in front of Naruto. "Probably because he's been laying low." He didn't make a move until now despite him and I arriving at the same time. He's not to be underestimated, Naruto said. Yeah, but he doesn't have your raw power, Loona pointed out. No, but he makes up for that with versatility and variety of moves and skills. My best bet will be to upset his ego. I have a few shots I can fire at him to unsettle him. Even more now that he and Verosika are half-siblings. Naruto smirked knowing he could destroy Sasuke verbally now to make mistakes. Do what it takes to win, then we can F on the battlefield, Verosika said with a shudder. I'll plow you right over his grave. May even knock you up on it too, Naruto smirked at his succubus lover. Oh, I'm so having mom join us now, Verosika shuddered as that was a crazy hot scenario for her. Is she hot? Naruto asked as he tasted his ramen before he started to eat with gusto. Here, Verosika said, pulling up a picture on her phone for him to see. Mikoto in the picture had the exact same long straight hair style from when she was alive, her Sharingan eyes that instead of Tomo's looked like black hearts due to her succubus nature, pink skin like Verosika, F-cup melons, a plump heart-shaped peach, a very curvy body, and raven-like wings hanging out of her back instead of bat-like wings. DMN, Loona muttered seeing Verosika's mom. I'll F her myself if he doesn't, Millie said. Well, we can talk about that after I kill Sasuke. Naruto said looking up from his ramen before he went back to eating. Plus he has us to wreck before he brings in new bees, Mayberry said with a scowl. That's fine. We'll head to the arena in the morning, watch Foxy kill that BSTRD, come back here, get wrecked by him, and then he can F Verosika's mom into a juice-drunk stupor with her daughter, Charlie said with a smile as she watched Naruto enjoy his ramen. Sounds good to me, Verosika smirked at the idea of a Moda Da THRSM with Naruto. So what's the plan for today then? Mayberry asked. I still can't let the collar or lack of powers be known, so I'm gonna stay indoors till I'm at the arena breaking Sasuke's neck. Naruto said as he finished his ramen. I need to wait for my Moda to bring me the home remedies before I do anything, Verosika said with a sigh as she felt incredibly bored. Octavia and I were just gonna watch a few slasher films, Loona shrugged. I'm gonna head to the store and stock up on some food, Mayberry said. Don't you have a job teaching those orphans? Vaggie asked the teacher. I start that in a few weeks. Blitz has to find a replacement first, Mayberry said as they needed a new secretary first before she could do the teaching job. Mom was thinking of getting a desk job, Verosika said with a smirk. Is that a good idea given your deal with Blitz? Millie asked the pop star. If I really wanted to PSS him off, I'd take the job to infuriate him, Verosika said simply as she would do that in a heartbeat to anger Blitz daily. Well, if you're gonna stay inside today, me and Vaggie can stay to keep you company, Charlie said with a smile at Naruto. And to run down what body parts we need kept in one piece from that prick, Vaggie said fiercely. Naruto shook his head at this and chuckled, look, I don't need a babysitter, so dash. We're staying. You're my fiancé and I refuse to not support you when you need me. Charlie said with a determined look. Also, if you don't let us, we're calling Hinata, Sakura, and Tsunade on you, Vaggie told him as she wasn't gonna leave either. Okay fine, I can't deny you two anything. By the way, I like your new outfits, Naruto complimented the princess and her lover. Thanks honey. Vaggie picked them out. Said my original new outfit choice would have been too crazy, Charlie smiled. What was the other outfit? Naruto whispered to Vaggie. She was gonna wear a black leather catsuit with no sleeves and zipped halfway down, Vaggie deadpanned. What? It was cute. Charlie said with a cute pout. Did you still buy it? Naruto asked. Course I. Did I need something to celebrate you being ready to breed me again? Charlie smirked. I'm getting bred first. Remember that. Verosika yelled. They then heard the doorbell again. Let me in. My baby needs a remedy. A female voice shouted. Oh, thanks Satan, Verosika sighed as she went and opened the door. Hello Mom, she greeted Mikoto who was on the other side of the door. Don't talk. Drink this. Mikoto said and handed her a vial of purple liquid. Wo V's picture didn't do you justice, Naruto said as he checked Mikoto out. Naruto? Mikoto said in shock, recognizing the son of her best friend. V didn't tell you? Also, how do you know me? Naruto asked, confused as he never met this woman before. All she said was that her new SGRDDY was an overlord and that she was going exclusive, Mikoto said with a chuckle at her daughter who was downing the vial of liquid like it was the last PP in hell. Then again I reiterate, how do you know me? Naruto asked, confused. I was named your god Moda by your mom. I was gonna take care of you, but then that stupid coup was planned and Hiruzen stopped me from taking you in. Most likely so my idiot ex-husband wouldn't use you as a weapon, Mikoto said with a sigh. Sorry about him getting killed during the New Year purge, Naruto said sympathetically. Oh, don't be. That was years ago and I threw him in those angels' paths. Besides, it got me into a great GNGBNG afterwards. So many incubi, Mikoto purred out. Ha! I like this one. Luna laughed along with Octavia. My Naruto is better, Millie and Verosika yelled together. Then why does my daughter need a remedy? Mikoto questioned. It's 'cause of that SHT head kid of yours putting this on him. Millie yelled, pulling Naruto's shirt collar down to show the heaven collar. Verosika, what have I told you about using heavenly items in the bedroom? Mikoto deadpanned. Not me DMN it. We mean that second born you should have taken. Verosika yelled in frustration. Sasuke's in hell? Mikoto questioned. No, he went to heave, wahahaha. Oh man, I can't say that with a straight face. Naruto laughed as he slammed his hand on the table while his girls laughed and giggled. Sasuke's in hell? And he couldn't even look me up. And he put a heaven collar on you? Mikoto asked calmly. Eerily calmly. Technically he has the key but wants me to fight him tomorrow after he hands it to me, but pretty much yes. Naruto said to the former Uchiha matron. I'm gonna kill him myself. Mikoto yelled in a rage. Sorry, but he's mine to kill. After all the CRP he put me through even before the war, I deserve to end him, Naruto said fiercely. If you want mom, why not get your own payback by becoming Naruto's juice dump? Think about it, being that for your worthless son's arch-rival would be the ultimate punishment, Verosika said with a smirk. Naruto said with a groan as he pinched his nose. I don't know. He may be able to tame this little F squad he has now, but is he man enough to take me on? Mikoto challenged. Hey! My man is more than enough to tame a succubus SLT like you. Charlie yelled, getting in Mikoto's face. That you're sticking it to the princess of hell? Mikoto asked Naruto. DMN right he is. He wrecks me well and hard just like your salty daughter. Charlie declared. Way to be classy, Charlie, Vaggie said with a sigh. F being classy when it comes to bees getting wrecked. Charlie yelled at her lover. Mikoto chuckled at this. Well, at least you seem to keep them satisfied, so what the hell, we can play later, little boy. Mikoto smirked predatorily at Naruto. Naruto smirked at this before he realized something. Wait, you knew my mom? He asked. Oh sure, we were best friends. Still mad as hell that I haven't found her here in hell, Mikoto chuckled. Well duh, she's the mayor of some town in the Wrath Ring, Verosika said with a dismissive wave of her hand. You knew that and didn't tell me? Mikoto asked her daughter. Not only that, but she's a hellfox along with her husband, and she has another kid. Verosika said nonchalantly. Verosika, you're joining me for F him 'cause I'm going to spank your pink peach red, Mikoto said. Yes mommy. Verosika said with a bright smile. Since V makes me call her mom to PSS off Blitz, do I have to call Mikoto grandma when she's dominated by Alpha? Luna whispered to Octavia. Most likely, Octavia said with a chuckle. Yes you will. By the way, did you tell your Moda that you're engaged? Mikoto smirked, having heard them before she looked at Naruto and Charlie. Naruto paused at this, he said with a nervous chuckle. Oh, you're so incredibly screwed, Mikoto said with a chuckle. I have her number, Millie said with a smile as she held up her cell phone. Might want to tell her before she obliterates you. Don't worry though, when she does I'll make sure my daughter is carrying your child. Mikoto smirked. Okay, let's end this, Naruto said as he took the phone from Millie and hit the call button for his mom. After a few rings, yeah what? Kushina was heard yelling. Hey mom, I'm calling to tell you something important, Naruto said nervously. Oh hello Naruto, what's going on? You knock up one of your bees yet? Please tell me it was Verosika, Kushina asked. No mom, I'm calling to tell you that I was engaged to the princess of Hell and Dash, Naruto was saying until. What? 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 Kushina screeched before a crash was heard and a dial tone was heard. She's on her way, Naruto said in a deadpan tone before suddenly the door burst open seconds later by a Hell Fox woman. She was in wrath. How'd she move that fast? Millie gaped. My husband taught me how to teleport like him, now which of you is my baby's fiancé? Kushina demanded as they all pushed Charlie to the front. It's me miss, and yes I do love your son, Charlie said nervously. Kushina looked at Charlie and after a few moments, oh my Satan, she's adorable, she yelled happily before she pulled her into a hug. When's the wedding? How many children are you planning to have? Will it be a group wedding or individual weddings for each of your girls? Does this mean you'll be the king and queen of hell at some point? Kushina asked rapid-fire questions. Mom, this isn't important right now, I'm dealing with something more important for now, Naruto said with a sigh at his mom's behavior. Yeah, my soon-to-be dead son is causing him problems so he can't perform in the bedroom anymore, Mikoto said. Should have known you'd show up at some point after I met your daughter Mikoto. Also, what did that BRT do? Kushina asked seriously. One explanation later. So why didn't you come to me or Minato to see if we could remove it via seals? Kushina asked after absorbing all the info. Thought that was an option? Naruto asked with a flat tone as he didn't think it possible when even Stolas couldn't remove it. Have you been taught nothing of the Uzumaki clan? We were sealing masters. We could do anything with seals. Kushina said with pride in her voice. Less ego, more removing this collar. Vaggie yelled as she pushed Naruto in front of Kushina to see if she could remove it. Kushina looked at the Sendler and scoffed. Really? A regular key lock? This is child's play. Kushina said disappointed. Then get it off him. Loona, Millie, Octavia Mayberry, Verosika, Charlie, and Vaggie roared, making the building shake. Fine, but I'm leaving before you all start F. I don't want to watch, Kushina said. Good, me and you have catching up to do, Mikoto said with a smile at her best friend. You're not joining in. Kushina quirked an eyebrow as she wrote on a paper in ink. Nah, me and him. Can plan a playdate later, Mikoto giggled. Fair enough. 1 second, Kushina said as she channeled some chakra into the inked paper and placed it on the collar. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Naruto's girls all chanted. It's already off, Kushina deadpanned as while they were chanting she removed it instantly. Finally. Naruto said with a smile as he rubbed his neck. Oh Foxy, we want to play, Verosika purred out with a saucy smirk. Naruto looked at his girls and growled with a smile as he felt his pee harden before he removed his clothes instantly. And that's our K, Kushina said, leak with me Mikoto. Yeah, just give me a moment. I'll be right there, Mikoto said, looking directly at Naruto's hardened swinging pages. Before Kushina dragged her out the door. Okay my lovely ladies, I'm built up from 2 days of no SEC, so get in my bedroom, lose your clothes and assume the position, we're gonna throw a party. Naruto yelled at his girls with a savage grin. With pleasure. You heard him SLTS. Let's get F. Verosika cheered, leading the charge into Naruto's bedroom. Finally. I missed that PP. Charlie cheered with a bright smile. I need it so bad Poppy, Vaggie purred as she licked her lips at Naruto. I felt so incomplete without Alpha's PP pending me, Loona said as she smirked at Naruto. I can't wait to choke on that PP again, Octavia out. You need to learn a lesson on not scaring us like that, Mayberry said with a grin at Naruto. I can finally feel it in my holes again. Less talking, more F. Millie cheered. All his girls immediately went into his bedroom as he watched them enter. Before counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Better be naked cause any clothes will be ripped apart, Naruto said and pushed a button on his stereo before he entered the bedroom. All his women were lined up next to each other on their hands and knees on his bed. Their peaches pointed directly at the door for him to just choose and F whichever woman he wanted. F whoever you want, Foxy. Verosika said with a smirk. It's your party, sweetie. Millie said with a CC wink. Who to choose? Naruto muttered with a grin before he immediately pounced on Octavia. Yes, my love, F me like an animal. Octavia cheered before finding her peach filled with PP making her scream. I know you wanted to choke on it, but I'd rather fill up your tight peach to start. Naruto grinned at the owl woman beneath him as he grabbed her arms and pulled them back as he started to move into her anus. Oh Satan, you're so big, Octavia groaned out as she was helpless as Naruto ravished her peach. I've been pent up for 2 days. Every hole on all you girls will be oozing juices before the day is out. Naruto roared as he let go of one of Octavia's arms and grabbed her hair to pull back on instead. Making the owl from his roughness as her feathers fluffed up. That's right, Alpha, defile that royal bee. Loona said with a smirk. You're next after I'm done with her peach bee. Naruto groaned as he slapped Octavia's peach hard, making her scream. Loona smirked even more. I look forward to it, daddy, she said lustfully as she shook her peach like she knows he likes. Gah. F. Naruto yelled as he clenched hard inside Octavia, making her screech loudly as she clenched from feeling his hot juices enter her. So hot, Octavia as Naruto pulled out of her and let her drop forward onto the bed panting for breath. Naruto moved behind Loona, unwinded and grabbed her by her perfect peach and pulled her to him. Are you gonna use my peach or my naughty PP, daddy? Loona asked Naruto, smirking. Naruto said nothing before he growled and thrusted himself to the hilt into his hellhound lover's hot PP. Ah! You big D son of a B. F ruin my TWT. Loona screamed at the intrusion. Shut up and twerk that peach for daddy, Naruto growled as he smacked her peach hard, making it ripple. Yes, daddy. Loona shouted as she started to twerk her big peach with vigor while being pinned at his PP. Charlie and Vaggie watched this with smiles and lust-filled eyes. We want lessons, Charlie said with a mischievous giggle at the show Loona was putting on. Poppy would love it if we could do that too, Vaggie said with a smirk of her own as Loona started to howl as Naruto grabbed her tail for leverage. I'll train you too, Verosika said with a smirk. Daddy's so rough. Loona from his THRSTS and pulling her sensitive tail. Daddy's been without his lewd little SLT for so long, Naruto growled out. Sorry for not being usable for so long, daddy. Please use me however and whenever you wish, Loona out with half-lidded Ys and her tongue hanging out of her mouth. Prepare your WMB for my juices, my pet, Naruto ordered as he started thrusting harder, making Loona's peach slap against his abs. Yes, Alpha. It's all I'm good for. Flood my WMB. Loona begged of her MSTR. Naruto roared loudly before he bit down on Loona's neck as he clenched inside her hard. Whoa. Loona howled as she leaked from his actions. Spraying her juices on the bed as she orgasmed. Naruto pulled out of Loona, making her whine. Play with mommy, I have a short stack to play with, he growled as he approached Millie and picked her up. You gonna punish me, sugar? Millie asked with a smirk as her tail wrapped around Naruto's waist. Naruto immediately stood up and impaled her PP on his pages. Holding her by her peach as he slammed her up and down with his strength. Using her body like a fleshlight. Ah! I have missed this darlin'. Millie out with an excited grin as Naruto did at her neck possessively. And I missed my CC imp juice dump. Naruto grinned as he smacked her peach before returning to impaling her body on his PP like a toy. Mayberry smirked at this. Millie is such a trooper. She takes whatever our stud gives her, Mayberry said aloud. He can use my body however he wants. Millie grinned at the teacher. Millie, I'm almost there, Naruto groaned as he felt himself sweat a little. Fill me up, darlin'. Fill up your imp to a full tank, Millie grinned as she looked back at Naruto and winked at him ready to accept his juices. Yeah. Naruto yelled as he glimpsed into Millie, flooding her PP with his juices. Naruto after he leaked pulled Millie off his PP and set her down on the bed before turning to look at Vaggie. My peach has missed you, Poppy. I think it needs to be retrained, Vaggie said with a smirk as she shook her large peach at him. Naruto grabbed Vaggie's hair and slammed his PP fully inside her tight peach. Ay Dios mío! Vaggie screamed as Naruto started to jackhammer her tight peach. I love hearing my were screamed at, Naruto grinned as he slapped her peach 3 times roughly leaving a red handprint on her jiggling right peach cheek. Falem Poppy como una puta barata. Vaggie yelled passionately as she tossed her head back making her hair fly. I don't know what you said but that's hot, Naruto growled savagely as he her even harder. Charlie giggled at this, she said me daddy like a cheap ware. Such a vulgar lover I have, she said as she slapped Vaggie's peach. Oh, you want to be my cheap ware? Fine, I'll you like the cheap what wherever and leave whatever money on your juices filled body, Naruto growled at Vaggie. You pay only a peso, Poppy. Vaggie said as she looked back at Naruto with a heart in her eye. I don't have any pesos. But how's about a juices in your peaches payment? Naruto growled. I'll take it. Vaggie yelped as Naruto smacked her peach hard. Yes, you will like a good little wear Naruto yelled as he fired his juices into Vaggie who screamed as she clenched hard. Naruto let go of her hair and let the warrior lady drop to the bed with her tongue hanging out. Naruto turned to Mayberry who smirked at him as he approached. You, gonna teach me a lesson, young man? She asked as Naruto grabbed her by her peach and rubbed his PP on her PP. Yeah. Being like AB 101. Naruto roared as he slammed his PP inside her PP. Ah. I like this lesson. Maybe I need, extra lessons. Mayberry yelled with her tq hanging out of her mouth. Drool seeping out her tongue onto the bed below. You're such a dedicated student, Naruto growled out as he pulled on Mayberry's hair making her cry out in lust. Please flood this salty student with your SPRM sensei. Mayberry out as she looked at Naruto over her shoulder and licked her lips in a salty way. I see Verosika's been training you on how to act like a SLT. Naruto smirked at the CC teacher on his PP before he slapped her peach. May as well learn from the best, right, Foxy? Verosika asked with a smirk. True. Why don't you and Charlie decide which of you two will be next after this leaks? Naruto smirked as he slapped Mayberry's peach over and over again. Verosika chuckled at this. You can go next, princess, you earned it for getting here to comfort Naruto, she said with a nod at the princess of hell. And this isn't because you want to see him wreck me? Charlie smirked at the succubus popstar. I haven't seen him take you yet, so let me have this DMN, Verosika said with a small pout. Charlie chuckled at this. Don't worry, I'll put on a show for you. Charlie said with a smile. Leak inside me, sensei. Mayberry screamed out, lost in lust due to having her peach spanked constantly by Naruto. God take it, my student. Naruto roared as he fired his hot juices into his lover. Yesis. Mayberry out before falling forward. Her face landing in Millie's melons. You're up, princess, Verosika said to Charlie with a smirk. Charlie smiled innocently at Naruto as he approached her while she was bent over. Does my prince need more relief? She asked with a sweet voice. DMN right, he does. Naruto roared before he slammed his PP in her PP while gripping her peach roughly. Aw, Charlie squealed out happily as Naruto started to jackhammer his PP into her PP. God if missed you, Naruto growled as he her hard like a beast. Yeah baby. Wreck my CNT. Charlie yelled out in pure lust. That's the plan. Naruto grinned savagely as he planted a kiss on her neck making her louder. Such a SLT for a princess, Verosika as she watched this while FNDLNG her tips. You're one to talk pop princess, Charlie smirked at the succubus before screaming as Naruto nibbled on her neck slightly. You want me to mark you my salty princess? Naruto panted into Charlie's ear. You already marked me but give me as many marks as you want, my prince. Charlie screamed out in a lustful haze. Naruto growled before he bared his fangs and bit down on Charlie's shoulder as he continued to her and grip her peach hard and rough. Aw! The pain! So good! Charlie screamed with a crazed grin on her face. Enjoying the rough and bestial he was giving her. Naruto kept himself bit down on her shoulder as he started to growl and grunt as he started to leak. Yes! Juice me my love! Give me a baby! Charlie screamed in blind lust. Whoa, now I'm getting knocked up by Foxy first. Everyone else needs to wait. Verosika shouted. Charlie panted helplessly as she threw her head back and screamed as she clenched hard while Naruto fired another juices into her PP. Thank you my prince, Charlie out as Naruto dismounted her. Letting Charlie fall to the bed to rest as her shoulder was already healing from his bite but a bite mark was left after it healed. Naruto licked his teeth of Charlie's BLD as he turned to Verosika. I didn't know you had a biting FTSH babe. Always thought that was for Loona only. Would've let you bite me had I known. Verosika smirked. Assume the position, Naruto ordered his succubus girlfriend. Yeses, Verosika purred as she bent over and presented herself to her overlord lover as she lied down on her back and did her PP lips for him with her fingers. Naruto approached her and grabbed her by her peach as he rubbed his PP on her PP, tell me you're mine, he growled out. I'm yours till the end of time baby, Verosika said with hearts in her eyes. Activate your Sharingan, he ordered his girlfriend as he continued to rub his PP on her PP. Oh, you get off on the idea of FANFICTION, huh? Verosika said as her eyes changed into the Sharingan. I want them activated so this F is forever ingrained in your brain even after I F it to mush, Naruto smirked before impaling his PP into her PP. OHF yes. Verosika bellowed as she gained a lust-filled crazed look as Naruto started to PND her CN like a jackhammer. Slamming his hips into her over and over again at high speed. Now that my power's back maybe I should F you at full power. Naruto smirked. Do it. I want everything you have DM in it. Verosika shouted. Alright. You asked for it. Naruto roared as she channeled his chakra fully around him in a blue aura as he picked up speed on his THRSTS. Pending into her TWT with intense speed and strength. Ah! You are a god. Verosika screamed as she felt intense pleasure from his THRSTS and strength. DMN right. I'm your god babe. And soon I'll be your mom's god as well, Naruto roared as he grabbed at one of her swinging melons with his left hand. Ah! You gonna use her like a breeding cow? Verosika asked with a lust-filled smirk at the idea. I'll use you both like breeding cows. When I'm done with Sasuke. I'll finally give you a child. And that's a promise, Naruto said as after dealing with the visions from the truth serum and having his power and manhood stop for days. He was ready to start a family now with his girls. Verosika's eyes widened at this before she felt herself starting to leak. Oh Satan, I'm almost there Naruto, she screamed desperately. F me too Verosika. Let's leak together. Naruto shouted as he was holding back from leaking as well. Ah! Ah! Yahtzee! Verosika screamed as she finally clenched hard while Naruto roared as he fired a hot juices into her CNT. flooding her insides with his SPRM. Oh wow, Verosika panted out after Naruto leaked inside of her. Hey, I'll take that as a compliment, Naruto panted with a prideful smile at the fact he just F7 woman. DMN right you will babe, Verosika smirked before she planted a loving kiss on his lips. Naruto hugged Verosika close before he pinned her to the bed and threatened into her again. Ah. You are such a beast. Verosika with a smirk at her man wanting more SEC. Hey we want more too. Millie yelled with a pout. Well then how about I do this? Naruto said, forming a familiar cross seal with his fingers. In a poof of smoke 6 clones of Naruto appeared and approached the other girls. Make them leak hard boys, Naruto groaned as he F Verosika more. Mercy? Mayberry asked, seeing Millie just made Naruto incensed to break them. Sorry babe you wanted a party so let's party, one of the clones yelled as the clones approached them. Ready and primed to wreck the women in front of them. I think we need more clones Alpha, Luna smirked challengingly at her clone. She wanted to see how far her Alpha would go to wreck them. Oh on me more I need more, Vaggie purred at her clone as she rubbed her peach on his PP to entice him to action. Get on, we need more than one clone darling. Make at least 3 for each of us, Octavia challenged as she was stroking the PP of her clone with her hand. Gah such needy bees. Naruto roared as he made a squad of clones as he paused F Verosika and decided to really mess up their holes. He didn't make enough clones for each woman to have 3 on them. He made enough for there to be 6 for each woman. The sounds of screaming, and grunts was heard throughout the day and night as Naruto unleashed all his pent-up lust on his girls until tomorrow. Releasing all his stress on them before his battle tomorrow. The next day 6 a.m. Naruto awoke with a groan as he looked at his lovers cuddling with him on his bed. Millie and Mayberry were wrapped around his arms. Luna and Octavia laid at the foot of the bed into his feet. Charlie and Vaggie were wrapped around his legs. And Verosika had his head in between her melons acting like his pillow. I need to get up my loves, Naruto said with a chuckle as he tried to get loose from their grips. No, Verosika out pulling his head deeper into her melons. I need to go kill your brother like the punk he is, Naruto whispered to her. Everyone up. We have a funeral to attend. Verosika bellowed as she shot to her feet making the other girls groan as they got up. He's getting a funeral? Naruto questioned as he didn't expect Verosika to even bother with the idiot's end in any way, shape, or form. He will cause you're gonna F me and mom on his grave, Verosika said smirking. Sounds hot, Naruto growled as he smirked. You gotta earn it though stud so be sure to kill him, Verosika said with her usual smirk. Any other incentives to make me kill that D-bag? Naruto asked smirking. I'll get out the cow print bikinis again lover, Charlie said with a smirk as she got up and stretched a bit. I'll tattoo your name on my peach, Vaggie said with a smirk as she also stretched with Charlie as she knew Naruto was watching them. I'll walk around hell with a collar with your name on it in public. Luna said stretching as well. I'll dress as a cowgirl again for you sweetie, Millie said with a giggle. I'll F you in my Moda's bed, Octavia smirked. SLV girl bikini, Mayberry smirked. Naruto smirked at this as he got up to get dressed. He was rested and ready to fight the Lord of the Emos. And finally end him. Don't forget to take a holy weapon so you can finish him, Charlie said. Thanks babe, Naruto said with a nod as he smacked Charlie's peach making her squeal in happiness. Pride Ring. Demon Arena. Naruto and his girls parked his monster truck outside the arena and walked over to it. The building was a massive crimson-red coliseum. Looks like your bro wants to show off for a crowd, Millie said to Verosika. That S-stain ain't my bro. Verosika scoffed. Really? I was gonna tell him you are his sister and that I'm sticking it to you regularly, Naruto said with a smirk. Verosika laughed at this. Well if you want to tell him that I suppose that's okay just make sure we record his reaction, she said with a smile. On it, Luna said holding up her phone. Also tell the prick what you're gonna do to his mom after you end him, Charlie said with a smirk. Naruto nodded as they all entered the arena. Hey, you're late. I have been here for 3 minutes. Blitzo yelled from up in a balcony where he was sitting with Stolas, Angel Dust, Husker, Nifty, and Elaster. So you get dope, Sasuke said as he was sitting in the middle of the arena meditatively. Wouldn't have turned down kicking your ass for all the money in hell, Naruto said as he stepped forward while his girls were heading to the balcony to join the others. Less talking, more bloodshed. I bet the company on you winning, Naruto. Blitzo yelled. Quiet, you pathetic imp. So how'd your wares enjoy not F for 3 days, Sasuke smirked. Oh, it was a rough 2 days before my mom undid my collar, you PP eating s-bag, Naruto said with a smirk as he pulled down his shirt collar to show he didn't have the heaven collar anymore. They never proved that. I mean, how did you get that off? Sasuke yelled before he composed himself and growled his second question. IF knew it. Hinata and Anko yelled from a balcony watching, hearing what Sasuke just tried to deny. You wanna know how? F you, that's how, Naruto said, flipping off Sasuke. Let's just end this, Sasuke said. Okay, but first, you know Verosika over there? Naruto said with a smirk. What about that SLT? Sasuke questioned, thinking Naruto was stalling. Her and you have a mom in common and I stick it to her regularly, Naruto said with a smirk. Sasuke's eyes widened at this before he looked at Verosika, who made her Sharingan appear as she smirked. I also offered our mommy up to my man here as a juice dump after he kills you a second time, Verosika smirked. And I can't wait to F her like a piece of rod, Naruto said with a smirk. You're dead. Sasuke roared. Dashing at Naruto with his sword drawn. Too easy, Naruto smirked as he charged at Sasuke with his holy sword drawn as their blades clashed. Seems Orochimaru taught you how to use a sword well enough when you weren't having on his python, Naruto mocked Sasuke. I'll kill you. Sasuke screamed. Better demons than you have tried, and I'm including Elaster the radio demon, Naruto said mockingly, egging Sasuke on. Elaster smirked lightly at this, glad Naruto respected him on some level. That red fool wouldn't know strength if a barbell hit him in the face. I'm an elite, you filthy pest. Sasuke roared. And yet I'm an overlord while you're a punk as hit man who has to take jobs from cherubs, Naruto said with a grin. This guy took a hit man job from heaven. Boo this man. Boo him. A random demon yelled from the stands. Boo. Get off the stage. These are the worst male strippers I have ever seen, a random female demon yelled out. Sasuke in a fury slashed at Naruto, cutting the shirt off Naruto clean off. Hi. Take it all off, the females in the audience cheered, including Verosika and Anko. This is a fight, not a show for you worthless plebeians. Sasuke roared at the crowd, frustration on his face. Oh, so that's who hired you, Naruto smirked, recognizing that term, and only one stuck-up Cien said that about those she saw lower than her. Guess I'll have some words with her after I whoop your peach, Naruto said. You won't survive, dope. And after I end you, I'll end that owlware of yours like I was hired for, Sasuke smirked. Naruto growled at this as he channeled his power so everyone could feel it. Then I guess I should stop holding back, he said as he charged at Sasuke with his sword and slammed his blade into Sasuke's, sending Sasuke's blade out of his hand into a wall. My sword! Sasuke shouted, irritated, having his weapon sent out of his hand before sending a spinning kick into Naruto's hand and sending Naruto's blade away. Before the two charged at each other with fists drawn. Naruto and Sasuke's fists collided. The Uchiha then kicked at the Kitsune, who ducked, punching him across the face. DMNU. Sasuke roared, receiving a palm to the face, knocking him back, colliding into the nearby wall before rushing at his old rival. Chidori Senbon. Sasuke shouted, firing off dozens Chidori Senbon at Naruto. The blonde demon was quicker, pulling out a kunai, swiping them all away with his blade. His eyes widened as he saw an incoming ball of flames and jumped straight through, not bothered by the flames at all. He swiped down at Sasuke, who smirked as a purple flaming fist smashed into his face, knocking him away. Naruto skid across the ground, stabbing his kunai into the ground to steady himself before he charged in again. Sasuke fired off arrow after arrow at Naruto, using this to keep the distance from them as possible. Naruto punched Sasuke in the chest, sending him spinning away before jumping after he drawing out a second kunai with a paper bomb attached, throwing over at Sasuke, erupting in a powerful blast as several explosions erupted through the field only to be swiped away by Sasuke and his Susanoo. He searched around for Naruto but couldn't find a trace. His ears perked up hearing a loud whirring and looked up to see Naruto along with several shadow clones in the air, armed with a blazing Rasen shuriken. With a loud roar they swiped the shuriken at Sasuke, who pulled his sword from the wall and swiped it towards one of them to spread about, forming a cage of flames around him as 9 flaming pillars erupted from the ground before colliding into the center, erupting into a massive pillar of hellfire. Wow! I was expecting so much better from you, Sasuke. All this time I've looked up to you for your strength and ability. But now alls I see is a worthless bag of PP hitman that probably moonlights as a male HKR. Disappointing. Naruto shook his head. Sasuke growled at this as he turned to look at Naruto, but a holy blade pierced his back, piercing all the way through him. Why, you and your stupid clones, Sasuke coughed out as the Naruto who he was staring at turned to smoke, and he turned to look behind him, seeing the real Naruto with a grin of victory. Game over, as Naruto smirked before he cut upwards, leave Sasuke in half. Sasuke's remains soon turned to ash thanks to the blade Naruto used, effectively killing him. Naruto held up his holy blade triumphantly as he roared in victory. Yes. In your face, UFCNT. Blitz yelled to another balcony with Stella frowning in fury. Naruto held up his blade and pointed it at Stella with a glare that was infused with his killer intent. Stella glared back at the overlord below before she stood up and walked away. Hey, what about our bet? Blitz yelled in a rage. Relax, Blitzy, I'll make sure you're paid, Stolas said with a smile. Paid with what? Blitzo asked suspiciously. Money, Stolas said with a chuckle. Woo-hoo. I'm rich B. Blitzo yelled in victory as he cackled madly. Nearby on a rooftop, Striker was watching with some binoculars. Too bad, Sasuke. You were a good partner. Ah, well, guess I'll get some extra money with you gone. Striker smirked from his seat, seeing the end of Sasuke before he stood up and walked off. Pride Ring Arena. Naruto looked down at the ashes that were once Sasuke Uchiha. Grinning as the many viewers in the stadium started to funnel out of the arena, having enjoyed their fill of watching a deathmatch. Naruto turned and saw his friends along with his girls and Alastor, who he wouldn't call a friend, but he wouldn't say enemy either. Now that was quite a show, dog boy, Ulster chuckled with his sinister smile. Yeah, I would have preferred more of a showing, but can't expect much from a punkus like him, Blitzo said with a smirk. Guess we can't mount his head though, Vaggy said with a sigh. Actually, my dear. Naruto asked me for a favor just in case this happened, Stolas said as he took out his grimoire. What does he owe you? Octavia asked her father, concerned. Nothing, Vea. Can't a father help his daughter's boyfriend? Stolas asked as he cast a spell to turn the scattered ashes back into the corpse of Sasuke Uchiha. Sweet, I'll get the car. We're burying him out the back of the hotel. Charlie cheered as she skipped off. Bring the car around. Weren't you gonna have him mounted above the fireplace? Millie asked as she recalled Charlie going on a rant about her plans for Sasuke's body. We are. We're just gonna bury his bottom half. His Moto requested it, Vaggy said, pointing to Mikoto as she walked over to stand next to Verasika. Surprised you really want the waist of SPRM buried, Mom, Verasika said with a smirk. Oh, I don't. You and I made a deal with your boyfriend in his grave though, Mikoto said with a lustful grin. Oh, a Moto da activity, Verasika grinned as she liked the idea of this. Oh, it's gonna be fun to knock you two up on his grave, Naruto grinned savagely. After all the SHT Sasuke put him through in life and in death, he was gonna enjoy every single second of what he'd do to Verasika and Mikoto. Ooh, you talk a big game, boy. Let's see if your bark matches your bite, Mikoto grinned at Naruto. Oh please, Alpha will destroy you too, Loona said flatly as she looked at her phone. Oh I know he will. I'm looking forward to it, VOICEOVER said, licking her lips. Okay, let's take this sack of SHT to the hotel, Millie said as she and Vaggie lifted the body to haul it away. The large group started to march the body away until they stopped seeing Stella in the large doorway blocking their path and glaring at them. Oh great, here we go, Blitzo groaned. FYI, I don't have a manager B, so you can't talk to them, Naruto said with a smirk. This got laughs from the group. Even Stolas was covering his mouth as he tried not to laugh. I only came to give the pathetic imp F my ex his money, Stella said hotly as she pulled out a sack of money. Oh goody, the bee keeps her word. There's a shock, Blitzo snickered. Stella threw the sack of money at Blitz and turned around and started to leave. Not a bad as. Too bad her mouth is a deal breaker, Naruto said with a smirk. Octavia froze at this before she glared at Naruto. Naruto, Octavia growled lowly as an aura of murder enveloped her. Oh, and I can't look? Naruto asked his girlfriend. I believe my daughter is just jealous that I have better looks than her, Stella said simply as she walked away. Swaying her peach. Stolas blinked at this in surprise. Oh dear, she seems to be interested in you now. Stolas told him with his eyes wide. How the heaven do you know that? Blitzo asked, genuinely confused. She's never been lustful ever. Stolas said gravely. No wonder she's a B, VOICEOVER said with a shudder. No way. Octavia screeched in a rage. So you don't want your boy toy here to F and break her into a SLV for you to order around? Blitzo asked with a raised eyebrow. We can discuss this later, but if I catch you making a move on her without my say so, I'll do things to you that would make my dad scared. Octavia screeched at Naruto as her eyes glowed red for emphasis as she pulled out a bottle of Lucifer's brand hot sauce. Noted, Naruto said as he held up his hands in a peaceful manner. Trying to hide his fear. Besides, Stella had ordered a hit on him and Octavia according to Sasuke. He wasn't exactly rushing to get with her due to that. Your tail is shaking in fear, Blitzo said with a snicker. And your knees are shaking, Naruto bit back at his boss. Bah, whatever, I'm gonna go get SHT faced. Thanks for winning me a fortune, man. Where? Blitzo said with a laugh as he ran off. Yo Stolas, Dusty, and Winged Cat. Drinks are on me. Blitzo yelled to the group. F it, I'm in. Angel Dust yelled, running after him. This better be some tasty booze, Husker grumbled, walking after them. Ooh, wonderful. A night on the town. Stolas said, following after them all. Should we be concerned? Naruto asked. $50 says they get arrested and have to have us bail them out, Vaggie said as she looked at the other girls. Bet, Loona said as she held up some money. I'm in too, Mayberry said, nodding. I'm in now, help me move this punk ass. Millie yelled out as Vaggie had stopped pulling to make the bets. Here, I'll help you, Millie, Naruto said as he helped her move Sasuke's corpse into the trunk of the limousine they used to get here. Don't damage him. I want him in good condition when I have him mounted, Charlie said as she smiled after poking her head back into the arena after bringing the car around. You do that while I mount these two bees, Naruto said as he pulled VOICEOVER and Mikoto close and groped 3 peaches. Guess you're gonna start working though the ninja SLTS and cherry after this, huh? VOICEOVER out from his touch. Mix of them and my current bees. I don't want to neglect my girl's needs after all, Naruto told her. Ooh, sweet and receptive to your girl's feelings. If only you were around when I was alive, Mikoto purred out. Then I wouldn't have Naruto said firmly. Or she'd have been your daughter, Loona smirked. And my energy is dead. Thanks, Loona, Naruto groaned out. DMN it be. I was gonna get wrecked. Mikoto yelled in fury. Oh, relax, I know what gets daddy going, Loona said as she approached Naruto and pulled him close and licked his cheek before she leaned forward towards his ear. You can have my peach later after you finish with them, she whispered into his ear. Naruto growled at this and his irkton returned. Straining against his lowers. Wait in my room and pick a playmate to wait with you, he growled back before he smacked her peach hard, making her tail wag wildly. Yes, Alpha. Loona out in lust as she had the perfect playmate to join her in mind before the large group left the arena. Alastor left after deciding he'd rather be anywhere else but there. Hazbinhotel. Okay, Graves dug whiskers. Cherry Bomb yelled as Charlie hired her to help make the grave. By doing up a hole into the dirt. Naruto threw the bottom half of Sasuke's body into the hole. Okay, anyone have something to say? Naruto asked. He was the juice shot I should have eaten, Mikoto said simply. Appealing. Okay, Cherry, bury this bee. Naruto yelled. Wait. Sakura yelled, walking over to the open grave. Oh goody, she's gonna go on her. I love Sasuke's spiel, isn't she? Anko groaned to Kurenai as all the shinobi and kunoichi Naruto had working for him were gathered for the funeral. Sakura however surprised everyone by spitting in Sasuke's open grave. That's for trying to kill me, you duck-as-haired piece of SHT. Sakura yelled. That she gets my approval, Charlie said with a smirk at the Oni woman. You wanna play with her later tonight? Vaggie asked with her own smirk. Works for me. Mind if Ino joins in? Sakura asked with a smirk on her face. Woohoo, lesbian fursum. Ino yelled. Okay, the bee is buried now, where's my payment? Cherry demanded. Follow me, Loona said as she led her inside the hotel. Wait, there's one thing missing. Charlie yelled before she grabbed a tombstone nearby and placed it in front of Sasuke's grave. The grave marker read, Here lies Sasuke Uchiha. A.B. in life as he was in death. Appealing, Anko said, wiping away a fake tear. Okay, everyone, clear out. Me and my mommy have unfinished business here. Verasika yelled. Fine, I'll just go watch the show from the window with Nai-chan. Anko yelled. When everyone went inside, Naruto turned to look at Verasika and Mikoto, who were already on their knees. Naruto smirked as the two went into a bow of SBMSN before him. As the closest family to the deceased, we have a debt to you to settle for him, Mikoto spoke. Use our bodies for as long as needed till our debt is paid off for his idiocy, Verasika said. Verasika, assume the position over your dear brother's grave, Naruto said as he undid his. Yes, daddy. Verasika yelled as she crawled over to Sasuke's grave as she strpped her clothes off. Tossing them aside until she was NDE and on the grave in a doggy-style position. Her arms wrapping around the large tombstone. Let's show your mommy a good show, okay? Naruto asked as he approached her and rubbed his PP on her PP. Knock me up in front of my mommy, Foxy. Verasika begged. That's the plan, Naruto growled as he hilted his PP inside of her CNT in one move. Aw. Verasika and smiled as she closed one of her eyes, enjoying the feel of his PP inside her TWT once more. Naruto started to move wildly into Verasika's pages. Not holding back from the start as he went wild from the get-go. Using his strength and speed to PND into her like a beast while she held on to the tombstone of Sasuke. Ah. So good. Verasika out with her tongue hanging out. Mikoto looked on at the two lovers rutting like beasts while her left hand went under her dress and started to play with herself. Masturbating to the sight of Naruto her daughter. Ruin me, Foxy. Wreck me. Verasika yelled out in lust as she felt Naruto PND her. You're just as tight as you were when you corrupted me. Naruto groaned out before he smacked her peach hard, making her cry out and her tail to go crazy. Don't blame me, Foxy. You were gonna wreck women in hell anyways. I just wanted to be the first. Verasika told him with a grin as she let her tongue hang out. Please, you so corrupted him. He was probably innocent and just wanted to be your friend, Mikoto said with a knowing smirk as she watched Naruto her daughter. You can't prove that. Plus my Foxy loves his life now, Verasika yelled with a teasing grin at her Mota. True, I have it pretty good now. Power, women, respect, and soon I'll be having a child. Naruto yelled out as he threatened harder and pulled Verosika's hair back with his right hand as he felt his CLMX leaking. Ah! You gonna knock me up, Big Daddy? Verosika out with hearts literally in her eyes. That's the plan. Ga F. Naruto yelled before he fired his fertile juices into Verosika's WMB. Flooding it as Verosika literally felt as each individual SPRM penetrated her WMB. Ensuring her impregnation. Yahtzee. Verosika as she klimpsed on his PP, her juices hitting the dirt of Sasuke's grave in a spray. Naruto panted a few times before he peeked forward and kissed Verosika on the back of her neck a few times. Finally. The press will have a field day when I announce my PRGNNCY, Verosika Well, have fun with that, cause I'm not playing with you while you're knocked up, Naruto said as he pulled out. Say what? Verosika asked with harrowed look. You heard me, I'm not traumatizing my kid while they are in your WMB, Naruto said as he shook his head. That's a myth and doesn't matter to Succubi, Mikoto said simply. Okay, how about it's a turn off? Naruto said as he turned to Mikoto. Ah, poor Foxy, so you don't want to play with me then? Mikoto asked as she struck a CC pose while Verosika started to mutter and her eye twitched wildly. Naruto smirked at this as he pulled Mikoto to him and threw her on Sasuke's grave. Cheer up, Verosika, at least you only have to deal with it for a month. Two tops, Mikoto grinned at her daughter as she got on her hands and knees and shook her peach. Say what? Naruto asked curiously as he approached and hiked up Mikoto's skirt to show her PP to him. Succubi have accelerated PRGNNCY and aging now, show me a good time, stud. Mikoto said as she smacked her peach with her tail. Naruto grinned as he grabbed her swinging tail and held it up before he slammed his PP inside her PP. Oh yes. You're a big stud, aren't you? Mikoto asked with a crazed grin dancing on her lips as his eyes widened in a wild look. DMN right. Biggest you've ever had, right, mommy? Verosika asked with a smirk as she looked on at them after she calmed down. Hush baby, I'm playing with your new daddy. Mikoto yelled with lustful craze as Naruto her hard, making her peach slap against his abs. Hey! I had him first. You're just a side piece. Verosika glared. Ah, don't be mad, daughter. I'll use my body to please him for all the time you won't be able to. Mikoto smirked at her before Naruto slapped her peach. Boo harder, daddy. Mikoto out. I love a mouthy SLT, Naruto growled out as he slapped her peach again, even harder. Oh, do you like my peach, my young stud? Maybe after you tear my CNT up you'll want to ride on this tight MLF peach? Mikoto asked saucily. Growling, you're moving in with us, Naruto growled as his fangs became more prominent and he reached forward. You gotta earn that stew, yes. Mikoto screamed as Naruto bit into her shoulder as he her harder. Ooh, giving her your mark via a bite. KNKY stud. How about it, mom? Want move in and get a daily dose of D-ings from him? Verosika asked her with a smirk. Mikoto panted as she just let Naruto use her as he was reaching deep into her and making her feel fantastic. I've never had a PP this good before. I can't let him break me. Verosika would never let me live it down. Mikoto thought to herself as she bit her lip trying not to leak. Verosika smirked evilly as she crawled toward her mom before she pulled her into a kiss and grabbed her bouncing melons. As the Moda and Da exchanged SPI and tongue, Naruto growled as he felt himself getting closer and closer. Their lustful kiss making him nearly leak in an instant from the sight of it. Ah! I'm getting close, stud. Mikoto panted out as she pulled away from her smirking daughter, her Sharingan active. You'll get his juices when you submit, mom. Go ahead. Agree to be his juice dump on you pathetic son's grave and get your reward, Verosika smirked. Oh it fine. I'm yours, you magnificent stud. I'll be your cundump. I'll move in. Now give me that juices. Mikoto yelled as her eyes went into the back of her head. Naruto grunted deeply as he fired his juices into the succubus MLF. Ah! So hot. So good. Mikoto out as her body shuddered. Her own CLMX happening as her PP juices sprayed into the grave dirt. Naruto removed his teeth out of Mikoto's shoulder and panted as he pulled away, licking his lips to get any BLD off. What do you say to your new owner, Mom? Verosika asked teasingly. Did you enjoy yourself, husband? Mikoto asked with a CC smirk. Hey! I'm marrying him first. Charlie bellowed from an upstairs window in the hotel behind them. Were all of you watching? Mikoto asked as she chucked and got up after fixing her skirt. Everyone but Loona and Cherry Bomb, Tsunade said from a window drinking a bottle sake. Looks like I know who she chose to play with tonight, Naruto said with a chuckle as he zipped up his lowers. Wait, she chose Cherry Bomb. We could have been chosen instead. DMN it. Kurina yelled next to Anko. You're all gonna get it eventually so long as you know I'm his head B. Charlie yelled out. Oh hell no. I'm the head B. Verosika yelled. You wanna throw down you B? Charlie bellowed in a demonic voice. You're DMN right? Wait, I'm probably PRGN and F. Verosika yelled as she couldn't fight since her baby would mature quickly. You're all equal PRD, don't make me cut you off, Charlie, Naruto said firmly as he looked at her window. Yes dear, Charlie said sheepishly. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a pet and her new toy to play with. But before I forget, Octavia. When we get back to the penthouse, get rid of any booze V has hidden. Naruto said as he went on to the hotel. On it. Octavia yelled out from a window. If I can't have booze, you can't have ramen, mister. Verosika yelled. Yeah, good luck with that, Naruto said with a laugh as he went inside. With Stella. The former wife of the Ars Goetia prince sat in a lavish room as she drank some wine. She was looking over footage of Naruto's fight with Sasuke and his fight with Valentino's men when they attacked the hazbinhotel, trying to find a weakness her assassin could exploit. Before she could continue, however, the phone next to her rang, so she picked it up. What? She answered with an annoyed tone as she was actually enjoying the footage she was looking at. Hey there, boss. Saw the little show you put on for the Overlord earlier. Wanted to make sure you want me to still kill him and your little girl, the voice of Striker said. Stella mused as she thought about this. Leave them alone for now and deal with that cheating BSTRD first. We'll decide on them later, Stella said imperiously. Very well. Just so you know that Overlord was lusting for you and not just talking big. Striker said. Stella hung up the phone and scoffed at this before she looked at the footage of Naruto killing more of Valentino's men before she smirked. Maybe I can use this to my advantage, she thought to herself as she continued to watch footage. Cherry's room. Naruto walked to Cherry's door and knocked. The second his fist made contact, the door swung open and he was grabbed by his extended arm and pulled inside. Finally. The voice of Cherry Bomb yelled as she pulled him into the room and swung him onto her bed. Took you long enough, Alpha, Loona said as she laid next to him on the bed looking at her phone while NDE. Sorry. I had 2 succubi to satisfy. By the way, we have a new roommate, Naruto told Loona with a grin. I saw that. You just can't resist a girl with a big peach, can you? Loona asked with a raised eyebrow. Now you know I can't quit your peach, Naruto said with a smirk as he pulled Loona into his lap till his PP was standing up and against her stomach. Loona smirked a little at this. Would Alpha like his girls to please him before we start this party? She asked coyly as she tossed her hair a little. Before Naruto could say anything, he groaned as he felt a moth latch onto the head of his PP and start doing before looking down to see a NDE Cherry Bomb immediately kneeling at the bedside and doing him off. Just couldn't help yourself, huh? Loona deadpanned at Cherry Bomb. Hey, you said I get first crack. I don't need any FRPLY or talking. Just pick a hole and shvee it in whiskers. Cherry exclaimed before she went back to doing him off. Naruto growled at this while Luna sighed and turned to Naruto. You go break her in alpha. We can play later when you're done with her. After all, she needs to learn her place, she said before she licked his cheek in a SNSL way. Naruto grunted as Luna got off his lap before he looked down at Cherry Bomb, her single eye staring up at him as she smirked despite his PP and her moth. Naruto grabbed Cherry Bomb by her hair and held her before he started to move his hips into her awaiting moth. A rough face F for the woman who clearly needed to be dominated. Gluck. Gluck. The sounds of Cherry Bomb's and slobbers echoed in the small room as Naruto F her face. Luna meanwhile watched this from a nearby chair as her fingers inserted her PP as she played with herself. Watching the sight of her alpha show a new woman her place. Naruto continued to move into Cherry's moth and panted as he felt his CLMX leaking. Soon though he released inside of Cherry's moth. His thick SPRM surprising her SS, she tried to eat as much as she could but felt some escape her moth after he pulled his PP free of her lips. His juices dripping onto the floor as she had never taken a juice like that before. You good? Naruto asked, wanting to make sure she was okay. That was awesome. I thought I was gonna choke. That would have been so hot. Cherry cackled crazily before she bent down and had up the spilled juices without any hesitation or provocation. Why do I always attract the crazy ones? Naruto thought to himself before Cherry pushed him onto his back on the bed. Now it's time for the main course. I'm done with my appetizer. Cherry yelled before she jumped directly onto his still hard pages. Impaling her PP onto his hard rod with no hesitation. Oh F yeah. It's so huge. I feel it in my stomach. Cherry cackled in lunacy. Then get that peach to work. Naruto growled as he smacked her peach. Oh, the big bad overlord wants his newbie to please him, huh? Cherry asked with a defiant smirk as she ground her peach slowly on his PP inside her. Naruto reached up and grabbed her tips. Get to work or I'll use you like a fleshlight, Naruto growled into her ear. And what if I like that? Cherry asked with a mad grin as she leaned forward and got in Naruto's face. Then I guess I'll just do this, Naruto said before he kissed her on the lips. Not a savage kiss but a gentle and tender kiss. Thinking giving her a soft kiss would tease her. Cherry paused after they separated before she chuckled, you're a sap but I kinda like that, whoa. Cherry yelled as Naruto flipped them so he had her pinned to the bed. I may be a sap but by the end of this you'll be calling me MSTR. Naruto told her as she started to move into her hard yet slow. Each move making her large melons bounce for his enjoyment. Ah. Luna was right, you are AF God. Cherry yelled. I'm an overlord and if you're a good little bee I'll do you a favor. Naruto growled as he started to hammer at her rapidly. You kill Valentino and ruin his business then I'll be your bee forever. Him and his two overlord buddies have it. Cherry yelled. That's a big order, how do I know you're worth it? Naruto asked with a smirk as he challenged her. I can help you get his overlord friend Velvet as your bee. Cherry yelled. Is she hot? Naruto asked curiously as he paused his thirsting making Cherry whine at his pausing. Luna pulled up a pic on her phone and showed Naruto a picture of a tall woman with dark skin and red and black hair wearing a red and white dress, and an absolutely crazy grin on her face. She had DD cup melons, a toned body, and a heart-shaped peach. Naruto growled as he started to move harder into Cherry making her scream out in lust. Yeah, Alpha loves redheads, Luna said with a smirk. She and I have crossed paths before and I know her hideouts. Last I saw the crazy bee she was doing herself to that stream you and VOICEOVER were in. Cherry out with her tongue hanging out, and since she's friends with Vox and Valentino you get her and UF over them. It's a win-win for the baddest overlord in hell. Cherry yelled out as she scratched at his back. Naruto panted at this before he roared and bit down on Cherry's neck as he clenched hard inside her. Ah! It's like a F-bomb going off inside me. Cherry screamed to the very heavens from her orgasm hitting, annoying several cherubs in the process. After a few moments of them got down off their high, Naruto pulled away and pulled Cherry into a savage kiss. "You're mine," he growled onto her ear. "Yes MSTR, Cherry out in obedience with a dazed and F expression on her face. Naruto smirked and let go of her, letting her body crumple to the bed to rest before he stood up and walked over to Loona, who was standing up bent over her chair and holding it so she could shake her peach. "I have such a well-trained pet," Naruto said with a smirk as he grabbed her peach and their tails intertwined. Loona only barked in response to this as she looked over her shoulder at Naruto with a CC smirk as she twerked her peach at him. "I love when you do that," Naruto groaned out as her peach twerked against his juicy PP. Loona again only barked in response with her smirk still on her face. Naruto however finally had enough waiting and slammed his PP into her PP while she was still twerking. "You're such a prime piece of ass," Naruto growled as he started to move into his hellhound lover. Loona again only barked in response, playing up the role of his pet. "Such a corny little pet I own," Naruto smirked before he slapped her peach, making it jiggle for his enjoyment. Loona barked again as her tail wagged in excitement from his spanking. "Oh, on my pet, you know what I want," Naruto growled as he smacked her peach, making it bounce. Loona panted at this and barked again as she started to twerk her peach like a pro while he her CNT. "That's more like it. I'll get you a new collar after this for being such a good girl." Naruto yelled as he moved a hand to her melons and started to tweak her NPL with his fingers. Loona panted and barked at this as she felt her orgasm drawing nearer and nearer with every single thing her alpha did to her body. Each thing making a mark of pleasure for her body and mind to enjoy. "I'm leaking my pet. Would you like that?" Naruto whispered into her ear before he nibbled on it. Loona barked as she nodded her head rapidly in excitement, wanting to feel his juices flood her depths. Naruto panted a little before he bit into Loona's shoulder hard. "Oh woo woo." Loona howled as she arched her back and clinched HRD on her alpha's PP and the chair beneath her as he filled her with his juices. Yes. Naruto roared as he leaked inside her, filling her CNT with his thick SPRM that leaked onto the chair beneath them. Naruto pulled out of Loona as she fell to her knees panting for breath. "Wow, you two go animalistic when you huh?" Cherry asked with a chuckle as she laid on the bed before she stood up and walked over to the chair. "Kind of a waste to leave his juices there though," Cherry said as she kneeled next to Loona and started to lick the juices mixed with Loona's juices with no hesitation. "Tasty," she cheered out. Naruto chuckled at this. "Okay girls on the bed, I need you both bad," he said. "Are you gonna make clones alpha?" Loona asked, her tail wagging in excitement. "If that's what my pet wants I will," Naruto said with a smile as he pet Loona on the head. "You can make clones?" Cherry asked as she didn't know that tidbit. "Alpha can make physical clones that can F us." "Not sure what the limit is," Loona affirmed. "Woohoo. I'll take 200. Fucks me till I can't move for a year." Cherry yelled with a crazed grin. "I need you walking if we're gonna go kill Valentino," Naruto said as he chuckled at Cherry's eagerness. "Fine, give me 6 now, let's party MSTR." Cherry yelled out. "If she gets 6 I want 6 too. I can put on a show for them." Loona said as she twerked her peach a bit for him. "Oh what the hell. 6 for each of you," Naruto said as he created 11 clones total. "All hard and ready to go. Come on boys, I'm not a fragile girl. Show me what you got." Cherry yelled as her clones approached. So many masters to entertain," Loona as she tossed her hair before she shook her peach at her clones. "The time is now, men. 4 pp. A clone yelled before they pounced on Loona, followed by 5 other Narutos. The other 6 piled on Cherry. Everyone in the hotel heard the sounds of a bed shaking, grunts, groans, howls, the odd crazed cackle, and at one point an explosion off from the room. Next morning. Random hotel. Blitzo groaned as the light his eyes as he get up from the bed. Ugh, my head, he groaned as he stumbled to his feet and looked around the hotel room, or what was probably a hotel room. It was completely trashed, to say the least, bottles of booze everywhere. Broken lamps. The TV was broken with a golf club in it. There were holes in the walls and even the ceiling. Blitzo tried to stand up and get out of bed but couldn't. The F? He asked before looking down to see he was handcuffed to Stolas wearing a pink tutu. Okay, what the hell happened last night? Blitzo asked as he held his head and looked at a nearby broken mirror and saw he had a face tattoo of an angel on the left side of his face. Oh Satan, why? Blitzo yelled. Will you bees shut up? I'm trying to sleep. Angel's voice yelled out next to Stolas. With a tattoo of Blitzo and Stolas' names on his ass. What the F did we do last night? Blitzo asked as he started to freak the hell out. It was fine if he was doing crazy SHT within his knowledge, but he had no idea what the hell happened last night. PRD. I don't know DMN it. Wait, where's Husker? Angel asked as he looked around for the cat demon. Oh SHT, Blitzo groaned out, as now they were probably gonna have to look for the cat demon. Harder Blitzy. Stolas MMM in his sleep. Stolas, wake the F up. Blitzo yelled, shaking him awake. Huh, what? Where are we? Stolas asked as his eyes opened up. Some hotel and we don't remember what happened. Also Husker is missing, Blitzo said as he tried to get himself loose from the cuff he was linked to. Not to worry Blitzy, I'll just use my grimoire and find. Where's my grimoire? Stolas asked as he used it to bring back Sasuke's corpse. Oh FDMN it. Blitzo groaned as he realized wherever Husker probably was where the book would be. I need to make a call, Blitzo sighed as he pulled out his phone. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 6. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author KFB Anime 87 on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.